A while back I did a series of videos on the clans of Skyrim, and to be fair, they did relatively well. I've always been meaning to go back to this topic, as we've only sort of touched the surface when it comes to this. One family in particular we've neglected is the Stormcloak Clan. The origins of Clan Stormcloak don't surface until that of the Second Era, which likely hints that they are not tied to Ysgramor or his companions, as the families that do still trace their lineages back to them, like the Greymanes and the Battleborns. Now that being said, this isn't to say that they are not, as there is a hint suggesting that they are connected as far back into the First Era with a vineyard, and that has to do with some wine that's being sold in ESO. However, it's not a lot to go off of to suggest anything other than a rumor. Back in the Second Era, the Stormcloaks used the Alliance War as a means to rise into prominence. Their power and influence is staunchly connected to their friendship to Jarun the Skald King. The first member that oversaw the rise of the Stormcloak clan was Mira Stormcloak, who was the Thane of Windhelm at the time of Jarun's reign. She suspected a rival clan from Whiterun called the Stormfists of treachery against the Ebonheart Pact, and her suspicions proved correct when the Stormfists attempted to usurp Jarun as High King of Skyrim, and at the head of that clan it turned out to be Filgor, Jarun's twin brother. Now, sometime during the late Second Era to the late Third Era, there was another Stormcloak known as Skegland, who served as captain of Windhelm's Guard, and he was also a prominent member and champion of the Fighters Guild. Next we have Hogue Stormcloak, who reigned in the Fourth Era as Jarl of Windhelm during the Great War. Not much is known about him. However, his son would end up being Ulfric Stormcloak. Ulfric became somewhat of a household name in Skyrim. He became Jarl in 176 of the Fourth Era, and at the time, him and Jarl Bolgrif of Whiterun held a bitter rivalry with one another, being both young Jarls at the time. He studied the Thu'um under the Greybeards and fought in the Great War. He was captured and later tortured by the Thalmor, and Ulfric then, after the war, would lead a militia to reclaim Markarth from the Reachmen. In return, Jarl Igmund and Jarl Hrolfdir, I'm not pretty sure, had to strike a bargain which allowed the free worship of Talos. And it's likely at this time Ulfric was acting as an indirect agent for the Thalmor, trying to instigate some sort of war with the Empire. Ulfric ultimately grew disillusioned with the Empire, and then later on went to kill High King Torygg in a controversial fashion. This would kickstart the Skyrim Civil War. The Rift, Pale, and Winterhold all proclaimed their support with Ulfric. Even Falkreath went as far as to proclaim it, however the Jarl was then usurped in favor of a pro-imperial Jarl. Ulfric was captured while traveling to Darkwater Crossing and taken to Helgen. However, Alduin attacked the settlement before his execution could take place, and he escaped. Ulfric would regroup at Windhelm and made a bold move besieging Whiterun and forced his old rival to seek imperial aid to defend his home. The symbol of Windhelm is a nice representation of what the Stormcloaks represent. They are very powerful and strong when it comes to combat and fighting. However, their actions can be seen as bold and impulsive, and more or less take some deeper thought to really understand what they are trying to accomplish. They do represent a bear quite well. Ulfric is a talented leader and he's a gifted leader, but with that, his decisions can get him into hot water, and hence this is why he's in his current predicament. However, with that being said, Ulfric doesn't have any children that we know of, comparing him to his contemporary in Jarl Bolgrif, who has at least 3 children that we know about, who are still children at this point. However, it seems that Bolgrif also too probably had children late, as he is also a veteran of the Great War. Now that being said, it's not impossible for Ulfric to not have children. He is still quite possible of doing so. It just does seem likely at this point that he is going to be bogged down with the Civil War, that he won't be having children anytime soon. With that being said though, I hope you all enjoyed. This is going to be a smaller video, I know, and it's also because I didn't have a lot of time today. I pretty much worked all day and I didn't have a lot going for me today. But with that being said, this is a topic I've wanted to cover and introduce again because it's going to bring back a topic and series that I've wanted to jump into again, and that would be the clans of Skyrim. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed. If you enjoyed content like this, please give it a comment and give it a comment, give it a like. I'm also exhausted at this point, but it was nice, being able to go back to this topic. And I hope to see you all in the next video and in the Discord chat, which the link is in the description below. Peace. If you enjoyed, please like this video because it really lets me know you're enjoying this content. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. The links are right here for you to click on, and the Discord chat link is right here as well. And overall, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.